Hello, everybody, this is Tim here again, here another movie review, and yes, it is hot, and yes, I am sweating. But I just got out of seeing Jurassic World Rebirth, and yes, I am even wearing my Jurassic Park shirt, which I actually forgot that I had before I went and saw the movie, and then I kind of was looking for a shirt, and I was like, oh, this has got to be the one. But yeah, I recently saw Jurassic World Rebirth. Like, in terms of the Jurassic Park films, in terms of like my opinion on them and the franchise as a whole, in my opinion, the first one is an event film. It was an event for the time, seeing dinosaurs and all that spectacle for the first time. Nowadays, these big blockbuster type movies are like a dime a dozen. Like Terminator 2 was, it was just a big event for the time. You just can't replicate that, no matter how good the sequel is or how hard you try. It just can't do it. So pretty much because of that, I've pretty much enjoyed all of these Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies to like different extents. Jurassic Park 3, I would say, is a bad movie. In my opinion, it is the worst. But even that one, I've kind of like started to have a little bit more fun with over the years. But yeah, overall, I would say I judge my movies from 1 to 5 stars now. I used to do 1 to 4, but from 1 to 5 stars, I'd give this a 3 out of 5. This was a good, fine blockbuster movie. It's nothing great. It is, I would say, the least entertaining for me of the Jurassic World movies. I did like Dominion more than this. I had more fun with it. This one, Scarlett Johansson is good in this film as like a mercenary type character who has to like go to this new island or whatever that's been discovered, where they were like doing these like hybrids or whatever that didn't work out, and they pretty much just left them on this island. So we find out there's yet another island. So it's like, at this point, how many islands with dinosaurs are there? Like, what, like 10? It feels like it. But and there was this creature on there that we see at the beginning whose machine gets messed up. Its locking mechanism gets messed up by a Snickers wrapper, which was pretty stupid. And it's like this big D-Rex type creature that kind of reminds me of like the Cloverfield monster in a way. And it like grabs the scientist dude and like pulls him back. That was kind of cool. It made me feel like I was watching a horror movie. Scarlett Johansson plays a mercenary whose job it is basically with her team, including like Marshall Ali, who is supposed to play Blade, but I don't think that's ever happening. To have to go to this island and retrieve like DNA or whatever from multiple dinosaurs. Like, I believe one of them's called maybe like the Titanics or something, or Titanus or something like that. Some big giant like striped long neck type creature. And another one's like the Mosasaurus, and the last one is like this pterodactyl type creature or whatever. But they have to retrieve DNA from them so it can help like this pharmaceutical company, big pharmaceutical company, like cure diseases and stuff like that for people for some reason. It's a very thin plot, and of course you get the idea that the guy who runs the thing or whatever that's going with him is like an evil prick, and the movie makes him an evil prick because he pretty much just acts like a prick the whole movie. So it's a stock character there. He's pretty much like the Burke from Aliens, just the company man asshole. And they do throw in this whole idea that the whole like Jurassic World thing didn't really work out because most of the almost said zombies dinosaurs are dying off, except for the ones that still live at like the equator or whatever. You got like this long neck, I believe, at the beginning, who's like sick and wrapped up in these telephone wires or something, and the corporate dude's there and he's like, would you just die already? So right off the bat they're showing you that he's a dick. Okay, Scarlett Johansson is good in the film. She is fine, but I would say her character is not that interesting. She's very stock as a character, and there's just not a lot to her. Scarlett Johansson as an actress does not have the charisma of Chris Pratt, so you don't feel like the levels of fun with her in this like you did like with Chris Pratt and those other three. But overall, she is good here. I think the mistake they make is they try to split the movie into like basically two groups of characters. You got like this random stock family who shows up, who just happened to be like traveling across the ocean at the time, including like this lazy boyfriend type character of the oldest daughter. And eventually he mans up a little bit more throughout the movie. But you get them, and then whenever the movie's like the movie feels like it's more focused on them for like big chunks of the film, and you kind of forget about Scarlett Johansson's character and stuff. And so at times when it comes back to her and everything, they're just kind of like going through the motions of just like collecting dinosaur DNA, and it's just really not that interesting. The stuff with the family is somewhat more interesting and more impactful for the movie. I feel like the movie would have been stronger if it would just picked one of these two paths to go, so we could focus on a core group of characters more. Either go like a harder edged mercenary route with the Scarlett Johansson team and everything, or go just this generic family route. Just have one of the family members be somebody who knows a lot about dinosaurs or maybe a fan of them or something, and they're stuck on this island and they're trying to survive and get to safety. Just have it be like a survival horror movie. You don't have to make it like this big epic. Like a smaller scale Jurassic Park movie would work. But yeah, so it's just pretty much bouncing back and forth between the two groups, and eventually they kind of meet up together and they're trying to escape the island. You got like these mutant dinosaurs on there, including like these things called like mutadons, or basically like flying raptors with kind of like these big necks that kind of extend out, kind of like a bird or something. Um, and you get to see them like take out an actual raptor or whatever and like kill it and fly off with it in the background while the teenage like boyfriend dude is like taking a piss, and then that was kind of funny. I'm sorry if you hear dogs barking in the background. I'm doing this outside, so my dogs are really loud. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, the Mutadon type creatures or whatever, you do get some fun action scenes with them. I would say the movie does feel kind of slow paced and uneventful for some of it. It is kind of, it lags at certain points because it feels like it takes them a little too long to get to the island. And I think part of that's because, once again, they got to split it up between this mercenary group with Scarlett Johansson and this family. And Scarlett Johansson as the mercenary character is just like really stock, and she just doesn't have a lot of charisma in the role, like Chris Pratt did when he was in the other 3 Jurassic World movies. So she just doesn't captivate on the screen. She just doesn't totally work. But once again, she's not bad. She's good in the role. She's fine. The action scenes with the Mutadons, like I said, is good. You get the best action scene in the film, or at least one of the best, is the scene that was actually from the original novel, which is the big ass T-Rex like attacking the family or whatever, where they're on this raft and everything. That was a really cool action scene. It was pretty much awesome. It's the best sequence suspense wise in the film, I believe. Like that T-Rex, I believe, actually looking at it, I believe it's the biggest one we've ever had in any of these movies. That son of a bitch was huge. But after that, you get to the end or towards the climax with the Mutadons like chase them inside like these old like facilities and stuff, these stores and everything. And you got like a younger daughter or whatever in the family group, and she makes friends with this little cutesy dinosaur. It's a little much, but at the same time, it didn't really bother me. It's there for the kids, whatever. I'm not really bothered by it. She names it like Dolores as a nickname or whatever, and she wants to take it back home as a pet. I'm like, okay, cute, whatever. It didn't really bother me, but didn't have it do anything too crazy, like open a door or something with its foot or whatever to like save the family or something. So I wasn't too bothered by it. You get to like the main end, and you got you got the big creature from the beginning that was hinted at called the D-Rex. I will say the D-Rex doesn't really look like a dinosaur. It looks more like the creature from Cloverfield, like mixed with like the Rancor from friggin' Return of the Jedi. It's not a bad design. It looks like a good movie monster, but it doesn't look like a dinosaur at all. It's pretty much like a mutant T-Rex, and it's huge. Like you see it in a scene where it like takes out the helicopter that's supposed to be coming there to rescue him so they can get out of there. It's pretty bad. It's actually a pretty badass scene where it just like grabs the chopper, like I think it bites into it. I can't remember exactly 100%, but then just like takes it and throws it. That's probably the best, coolest like action moment in the movie. I wanted more of the D-Rex. I feel like you could have done more with it, like had it show up at a earlier point in the movie. Like I said, if you would have had this focus more on one group instead of like splitting in it between the family and the mercenary group, or had the family like mixed in with the mercenary group throughout the whole movie, I think it would have worked better. But yeah, the D-Rex, when it actually does show up, is a pretty cool action scene. But like I said, it doesn't look like a dinosaur at all. It looks more like a mutant creature. But on a horror movie level, that kind of works. But at the end, though, you get like it grabs like the corporate dude. Obviously, it's going to get him and picks him up and like kind of bites him in half. And the DNA samples of other dinosaurs like falls down in the briefcase that he had. Scarlett Johansson gets it, and her and like this nerdy scientist dude or whatever, or kind of like dinosaur expert dude who kind of flirting a little bit throughout the movie, who went with them. They pretty much get it, and they decide they're not going to give it over to the corporate company. They want to just like turn it over to like the people and all that. So nobody, it won't just be for the rich. You know, everybody will be able to afford this cure for potential human diseases or whatever. And so that's when the movie ends. It kind of felt like a mixture of like Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World, with like Jurassic Park 3 with the whole family thing and everything, like elements combined together of those two to make like a safe, fast-paced, but thin plot-wise movie. You can feel the franchise definitely starting to run out of steam somewhat, but at the same time, I had an overall, by the end of the movie as a whole, I had a good fine time with it for what this is, a dinosaur movie. If you're going into this comparing all the sequels directly to that original film, you're not going to like any of them. You're not. You'll see them all as like mediocre or just bad. If you're judging this as like Jurassic Park 7 or Jurassic World 4, which is more like what it really is, it's fine. It's a 3 out of, I said 3 out of 4. I mean 3 out of 5 for me. It's a good, fine dinosaur action adventure flick. It's completely harmless and completely fun enough. We probably will get a sequel because I'm pretty sure this is doing well. I need to give the D-Rex like more time in the sequel, and in the sequel, I feel like you could explore that creature more and kind of treat it more like a Frankenstein monster type thing, and maybe even have the audience like feel sorry for it when you see maybe what it's been through in the past and everything, how it's kind of like poked and prodded by the scientists and all that. Like you could do more with that, on like the like emotional dramatic depth wise. But as far as this one goes, like I said, I liked it. I would say it's my least favorite of the Jurassic World movies of the four of them, but overall, 3 out of 5. Good time, fun, fun enough, fine time. The audience that I was watching it with really enjoyed it. Like they walked out going, "It's pretty good." Like they really liked it. So if you're not somebody who's like super critical like me, more like a critic like me, you'll probably really enjoy the movie. You just want to have a fun dinosaur action time. But me looking at it from a critical perspective, it's a 3 out of 5. It's a good, fine dinosaur time, dinosaur romp. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again.